Take a ride, a Bermuda buggy ride, an old-fashioned huggy ride, while the moon is bright outside.
One of the amazing things about your life, and consequently about this book, is the number of people and historical situations that you've been involved with.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the people in the early days that you watched during the 1937 America's Cup and who was a friend of your family was Harold Vanderbilt.
Right. Long connection with the Vanderbilt family because great-grandfather Henry H. Anderson was consul for the city of New York.
Mm-hmm.
And he issued the licenses for Cornelius and General Vanderbilt to run horse-drawn carriages up and down Park Avenue. And those licenses eventually became the railroad bed for the Grand Central.
Right.
And so the family firm did a lot of the Vanderbilt business.
So you must have a pretty good memory of him.
But yeah, because sometimes he'd bring his 12-meter Vim to Swaniker for some racing.
Mm-hmm.
And so he always came over and played tennis at our home. So father sailed on Vim a lot with him.
Mm-hmm. But do you remember him as a person?
Yeah, because see, I sailed on Vim on an American Yacht Club cruise with him one
Mm-hmm.
time.
And what do you remember of him? Was he friendly, unfriendly, cold,
Well,
unapproachable?
he was, a fairly stern chap,
Mm-hmm.
but he had a good sense of humor,
He did.
and he was very meticulous. And we had Rod Stevens aboard, and they would keep a record every time they set the mainsail of the temperature, the humidity,
Yeah.
how far they pulled it out on the foot,
Mm-hmm.
on the luff.
Right.
And then if the conditions were duplicated, they go back in the book and know how much to trim it out.
Right. That must have had an effect on you, huh? Or not?
Well, probably. I mean, an example, the Hughes 38 that I
Yeah.
bought in Canada, and I got to the Hughes brothers. Rod had just been there, and they were shaking their heads. They had a 22-item chip list Rod had left. One of them said, the orifices in the drain for the icebox, the diameter is too big. The peas are going to go through and clog the bilge pump.
If somebody would ask me about sailing with Ted Turner, I would talk about how he was really loud on the boat, and he was always spouting about history, and at times of stress he would be kind of mean to people, so in that context, was Vanderbilt a loud person in the
Not at
boat?
all, no. But he gave orders,
Yeah.
but not that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, he loved to play tennis, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
So he always had a chauffeur on the New York Yacht Club cruises meet us at the port with rackets and tennis balls. That was the next job after you furled the sails, was to go ashore and play tennis.
Right. Did you ever have any personal interaction with him at all? I mean, did he say things to you, or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for instance, here's a funny one. See, I guess it was the summer of '40, and three of us had driven out to the West Coast. And then on the way back, I got a telegram from father saying, Harold Vanderbilt wants you to sail on Vim at a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking the launch out, and the launchman says, here's some stuff for mail for Harold Vanderbilt. And so I step aboard, and he looked a little surprised. And there was the telegram I'd sent saying I'd be there.
Take a Bermuda buggy ride.